All right, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Welcome, welcome. This is the ASEA Team Builders Global Leadership Training for April. This is the year of unstoppable momentum and growth, and that is certainly what seems to be happening and what is happening this year. Amazing things that are happening with rank advancements. So we want to welcome you to the call, and we're just going to run through the agenda a little bit and tell you what we've got planned for the day. We've got a great lineup.
Hi, everyone. So in terms of this past month, it's been phenomenal when it comes to the growth that the team and the company have experienced, but particularly through our team. That's why we're bringing some really amazing people on today who are going to share with you what they've been up to and how they've been doing it. And Bart will interview these special people and we'll introduce them in just a minute. So we'll start with rank advancements and special recognition, which truly is to congratulate all of you for all the hard work that you're putting in. It's making a massive difference, and we are truly honoured to be celebrating your success. So then we're going to switch over. Bart's going to be interviewing our rising stars in our team. And Cristina, because you're in a red dress, you have to go first. So Cristina Sword, Platinum from Brisbane. We've got Kaleen O'Connor and Hamilton, who are Platinum in Florida. Mauricio Munoz, who is Platinum in Florida as well. And Alissa Tucker joining us from Adelaide, as well as Richard Lee, who has recently swept the pool with the recognition section in Australia. So we're excited to hear from Richard as well, who, as many of you know, is a triple diamond.
Look, all of these guys are absolutely some of the fastest rising stars in not only our team, but all of ASEA, really making things happen. We want to be give everybody a chance to be the fly on the wall and listen and hear what they've done. The idea is to kind of find out what they're saying to people, their mindset, the decisions that they've made, what they're doing to make things happen, because it's all about duplication. So we want to learn from the best of the best. So we're real excited to have this whole lineup of rock stars.
And of course, Dan Doyle is also with us, Ambassador Triple Diamond. So he's going to be throwing his 2 bobs worth in throughout the webinar, and we're going to be able to catch up with him, what he's been up to and how he's representing all of us. So thank you to all of you for being on as panelists and also as participants for joining us today. So recognition, Director 300s. We've had 87 rank advancements the past 4 weeks. It's all broken. And that was 40 from last month. So that's phenomenal growth over the past 4 weeks.
How amazing is that?
Oh, yeah.
Over double the number of rank advancements in those starting ranks. Absolutely incredible.
There's been 73 Director 700 rank advancements. Last month there was 37.
Got to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations, Director 300s and Director 700s. And bronze executives. So we've got the sponsor on the right. Just going to bring them all up. And you can see how many people in your team and recognise a lot of names who have rank advanced into the executive ranks of ASEA, which is fantastic.
And look at all those Asian names.
Richard, you're doing something right.
Absolutely.
So congratulations to everybody. Okay, our silver executives. We've got Taiwan and Australia represented there. So congratulations to all of you. We're really, really proud of you and just in awe of your success. And then gold, Bart knows how to have fun on his own. Here are our gold executives. And, oops, one tick here. There you go. And you can see the lineup, and USA, Australia featured through the rank advancements with gold executives. So congratulations.
Fantastic, guys.
Yeah, it's a really fun position to be in. And of course, we're going to be hearing from Alissa Tucker here in just a little while. And then we have Cristina Sword, who has blazed an amazing trail of success since convention. So she's on today. Congratulations, Cristina. Her sponsor is Mouse Sword, and we're really, really excited and in awe of what you've been creating. So we can't wait to hear from you, Cristina.
Thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks for the bubbles, Bart.
Okay, and then Diamond. So We've got a couple of diamond rank advancements, which is really, really exciting.
Fantastic.
USA and Australia there. So congratulations.
My whistle doesn't blow very well.
The dogs are all freaked out. So top emerging leaders, you can see who has fit that category and the number that they've come in at for week 9 and week 10. So lots of phenomenal names there, and you can see that Mouse Sword has snuck in at number 4 as well for week 10. So congratulations, Mal.
I'm dribbling bubble juice on me.
Week 11, you can see the phenomenal names listed there for week 11 and also week 12. So lots of emerging leaders. These are the people who are in the trenches, chatting with people, getting it all done and having fun. Top associate enrollers. So we've got a great lineup in week 9. A lot of ties for 4th out of the top 10 globally, by the way. This is all globally. And you can see week 10 as well. So congratulations to top associate enrollers. Week 10's continued there, and you can see week 11 listed as well. So lots of familiar names for people that are just consistently building their business, and we're really excited for all of you. And congratulations to the sponsors of these people as well. Well done.
What a fantastic achievement, everybody. This is, the top leaders globally. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
just absolutely amazing accomplishments for so many people. Thank you, and well done.
And you can see with top Autoship All-Stars globally that Wayne and Karen Pickstone are doing something right. And Dan Doyle snuck in at number 6 in week 11. So congratulations, Dan. You know how to get people on Autoship. And this is phenomenal because this really is where the sustainability is the bottom. Getting people on it. So massive congratulations. Okay, we've got, of course, Julie Watts, who took out the grand prize standing for Ascent. And we have the list here of 3rd, 4th and 5th place. Of course, we're going to hear from Richard Lee today and Cristina, who came in at 5th place as well. So congratulations to all of you listed here. You're going to have an absolute blast in Cabos. We love Mexico, and it'll be really a fun event, which is coming up soon. So, yeah.
These events are such a great opportunity to connect with people.
Yeah, they are.
Remember Cancun, the first event that we went to, just a chance to really network with everybody. So congratulations, all of you that achieved that. And that are going.
And Dublin, Ireland. So you can see that Dan and Suzanne are actually staying in a castle, whilst the rest of us plebeians are staying at this place. It is the Shelbourne, which is an absolutely gorgeous 5-star hotel downtown in Ireland. My brother's Irish. He's from Dublin. He was telling me about this place the other day. And he said it's so centrally located. We're going to have so much fun there, and he's really excited for all of us. So congratulations to all of you who have qualified so far. There will be more people added to this list, so we're really excited for those of you who have set a goal for achieving Diamond to join us in Ireland. Congratulations.
We want you all on these Diamond Summit trips with us.
We definitely do. We're going to hand the time over to our very first Global Advisory Board representative. Dan was anointed in this role just recently. And we're so excited and couldn't think of a better person to represent our needs, our country. And thank you, Dan, for being who you are and leading by example and being amazing. So I'll hand the time over to you.
Thanks, Melissa, and thanks, Bart. Thanks for doing the same for all of us and putting all these webinars on, and the support you give is just overwhelming sometimes. I know what you go through, Melissa, and supporting Bart and I and the team. Firstly, I just want to congratulate everybody. I mean, the rank advancements and your achievements are a reflection again of Australia being the fastest growing market and our team being the fastest growing team on the planet in ASEA. So congratulations, everybody. Incredible to see all these rank advancements and the statistics just going up and up and up. As far as global advisory, wow, what an experience. We all have a voice. We've always had a voice. We've got a voice through customer service. We've got a voice through the flip calls, and we've got a voice through this Global Advisory Council as well. It's an honour and privilege, and I'd say a pleasure to be on global advisory, but it is hard work traveling all the way to the States for two days worth of meetings, and it is grueling. But to be on the Global Advisory Council and to hear what they go through, to be part of it, to have input in making decisions for all of us, put it this way, I'm glad I'm there, because there's some big things tabled at council. And so just as far as an order to make sure that you guys have a voice too, get all your team to contact customer service for any of the little issues or anything you need sorted on that level. We do have the flip calls. These calls happen on a monthly basis, and these calls normally are set up for every country, to look up every country, to sort up little issues as we go through that customer service can't handle. But if there's anything on a bigger scale, guys, please don't hesitate to send me an email and reach out so I can table things at the next Global Advisory Council meeting, which is in July and August, this coming July and August. So yeah, it's finally great to have my voice and opinion personally too, because I'm pretty well black and white. I'm sure you guys know that, and I don't come muck around when it comes to building this business. But if there's anything that's affecting my business personally, it's going to be affecting you, and it's going to be affecting the whole field and company. So I put my 2 cents worth on the table, and the great thing about this company is they listen. That's why they've put this together. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and anything that is an issue at all, we want to make sure that you and your experience that you're having in the field is at a level where you're being heard. So great to be representing you guys. Thanks.
Oops. Thank you so much, Dan. As I mentioned, we're so blessed that you're representing all of us, and I know it's grueling to get back to the States and be put up in a really lovely hotel and hang out with friends and eat great food. But thank you on behalf of all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to have Australia represented there now too, so that we're not by any stretch of the imagination an afterthought. Sometimes the U.S. sort of dominates some of those sort of things, but
No way.
we're yeah. Now it's now you've given us a good voice. Thank you.
Now we're going to turn the time over to Bart, who's going to have a chat with Cristina Sword. Cristina has been making some amazing progress and results since the convention, so I'm not going to say any more. I'll let these two speak, but thank you so much for being on the call, Cristina, and welcome.
Yeah, so Cristina, you have been doing just some absolutely amazing things. In fact, just since the convention, this last convention, 2017, she has advanced from Director 700 to the level of Platinum. What an outstanding rise to victory and success, and just keep. I know that you're going to just keep moving right up the ladder. So I had a really great chance to chat with Cristina, and she's got some great things that we want to share. Now, Cristina, you've actually got just tell us a little bit about your background, and because you've been an expert in this industry for a while, but you kind of made a transition. So just tell us a little bit about your experience in network marketing and what you've been doing and your transition into ASEA.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for having me on this call. I really consider it a privilege and a big responsibility to share properly. Well, yes, as Bart said, I have had a long history in network marketing. I didn't think I'd have any more history in network marketing. I really thought that those days were well and truly done. So I came to a little bit of my background. I came to Australia from El Salvador as a 10-year-old refugee, civil war situation. And I came here and went to school. I studied physiotherapy, and I was going down the medical path. I sat the medical entry exam, and then decided to have a sidetrack and have 4 kids instead. So had always an interest in the medical field, which is funny, sort of ended up back here. But we went into network marketing not because we sort of loved it or because I was passionate about network marketing. We went into it because we could see that lifestyle results were there. Between us, Malcolm and I had and still have 8 kids, and it became a priority just to be present with the family and to be there to raise those kids. So I could see that we knew a lot of people with money, but nobody had the lifestyle of a diamond. Nobody had that lifestyle, the combination of the time and the freedom. So we went to pursue that lifestyle, really. So it all happened very quickly, and found myself in my early 20s at 23, retired. And it was a really good life. I've known that network marketing works. But that particular company had been around a very long time. It was a tired company. Management had lost its way, and there was no relationship with the field. And after a long stint of really sort of benefiting and enjoying the lifestyle, we made a decision that there was just no longer a home there for our folk, for our teams, and we knew that it was time to make a transition. So, yeah, I actually ended up going back into traditional business, and Malcolm went his separate way and was looking actively for a new network marketing home.
So I know when you were saying you loved the concept of network marketing. In fact, you told me that you were living the life. You're driving a Porsche and young, but the thing is tell me the difference, and you know, the company that you're referring to is one that has kind of been the leader and been the longest. Most people kind of associate the big A. But you know, I know that you said that you just did. They kind of lost their way, and you just didn't. Your heart wasn't in it that much more. What is it about ASEA that you really? Actually, before we get to that, I want you to share the story of when you were ready to. I mean, Malcolm started a business. He had put you in a position, and you thought, "Well, I'm really not going to do this." Just share that story of what happened when you kind of made that decision. That you really need to take a closer look at this more seriously. I guess it was when you were on the plane headed to the convention, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I'd gotten on board quite early on in the piece as well. With like, I saw it when Malcolm and Danny were getting started, and Laureen, and you know, for us, this really was not a business that we were looking at. This was very much our friend Danny was sick, and thanks to a phone call from you, Bart, you know, it was like, hey, there's these cool little molecules over in the US. And so Danny went, and Mal went, I guess, to support him and also to look for himself. He had a skin condition. But I was watching this keenly and, you know, saw Danny within a space of time. I'd seen him, and it always moves me when I say it, because, you know, we love Danny, and I remember seeing him and kind of going, yay, Danny, you're going to be okay. But inside thinking, oh my gosh, like, he's not long for this world. Like, he is so sick. And then seeing him again sort of 6 months later and going, he's not only just here, he looks better than I've ever seen him. Like, this man's going to live, you know. So we saw this happen. So that was shocking, you know, incredible. So the first thing, I knew there was something really special, but I had gone back into traditional business at the time. I had my own business. You know, I was employing 12 different people on a contract basis, and I just thought that I was a bit of a rock star, really, and just doing things really well. I thought, no, network marketing, done it, been there, no thanks. And then Malcolm kept saying, you really need to get to Utah, you really need to get to Utah. And he's just so persistent, you know, and partly to just go, okay, I've been, and I know he's on this call, so partly just kind of to shut him up, because I thought I've never been to Utah, so I'll go. But I hadn't made a single cent out of ASEA. I hadn't really done much at all, and this was just last year. And I was sitting on the plane, and something really awful happened. I was scanning through my emails just before I lost Wi-Fi, and I got an email from my largest client, representing 80% of my income, saying, we don't need you anymore, thank you, we've employed someone else. And then the internet went out, and I sat on the plane, and you know, my initial reaction was to feel really sorry for myself, and actually I had a good cry. And then the next thing was, okay, now I'm mad. How can this happen? I worked so hard. How is this possible? So then I had this, like, whoever was sitting next to me, you know, would have just thought I was like bipolar. And by the time I landed in Utah, I was like, show me the money. All right, what's going on here? You know, like, I never want to be in a position where somebody cuts my income out from under me. I work so hard. My boys deserve stability. I'm going to find out what's going on here, and I've just got to go home and do it.
That's such an amazing story. So you were, it's sometimes, I don't know, the thing that comes to mind is that word crisis. I know the symbol in Chinese is opportunity and danger at the same time, and you were really in that dichotomy of where am I at. But I think one thing too, I know that really before you can put your heart and soul behind something and really be passionate about it, what are the characteristics about ASEA that said, yeah, I can really put my name, my credibility, my reputation. What was it that really just inspired you to say, I mean, obviously it was Danny's story and what the products were doing for not only Danny, but others too, but from a corporate level, what is it that for you really made the difference?
I can't tell you how clearly I decided I was never going to go back into network marketing. I know people say they're not, but I really wasn't going to go back into it. Yes, there are a few things that changed my mind. Firstly, I saw that this wasn't a cool product. When you've been a diamond in a different business, you get kind of phone calls every single week. Hey, we've got a cool new juice. You should come on board. Check out this watch. Check out this whatever. And I had like a standard response, but I was just absolutely closed. With Danny's recovery, I saw it wasn't a cool product. This was a genuine medical breakthrough. I recognized the science for what it was, and that this was the first time in history that a breakthrough was being brought to market via direct sales. So from a business builder point of view, this was the entrepreneur's dream. It is the opportunity to be at the front of something, not reinventing a trend. It's for the medical world, this is an internet, this is the locomotive, this is a Facebook, this is an absolute market shift. So I had fear that I would miss out. I recognized that, with other companies, I was looking at really cool products and juices and vitamins, but I didn't ever want to be selling something and going, look at my XYZ, it's so awesome, but they could buy it in 300 other places. I didn't want to be in a saturated market. So it was unique. I also obviously saw that it worked. It wasn't a cool new thing that had been invented overnight. There were 17 years of research behind this. The validation was there. So, I had a marketing company, so I really looked behind the curtain because I know you can build bars about anything. But this was solid. And I think for me, what I saw at convention, which was totally different, was the spirit of the corporate team and the spirit of ASEA. And I know if somebody's relatively new, that can sound a bit fluffy, but I saw something quite unique. And I was saying to you, Bart, I've never seen it in network marketing where the corporate team is so integrated with the field. And I think the reason is because this company is so young. So these guys who are at the head of the corporate team right now, they've started this. They've themselves been networking. They know what it is like to build an organization because they just did it yesterday, going across the road when Tyler talks about sharing it with his via his pastor to his friend. So I saw the real spirit of this company, and I thought this is a secure place for me to, because I'm only going to do this one more time. I'm not building, it takes a lot out of you. So I've been looking for somewhere that had security into the future and security through the company. And
they truly do put their principles above their ego and their economics. I know that was something that just absolutely hit me in the heart when I realized that was the truth, that was the reality. And so well said. Now, some people might say that hey, Cristina, of course you're a rising star. You were a diamond in a previous company, so you have all these contacts, you just have it made. Now I know something a little different. You just mentioned how many kids between you. You got 4 kids at home, single mom. You have all the time in the world, don't you?
Oh my goodness, I just don't know what to do with myself. Look, it's interesting because one of my excuses I kept saying to Malcolm when he was saying you should build it, I was like, you've had a 1 year or a year and a half head start on every single person I know. I literally, my list is well and truly, if someone's going to have a head start on your list, you don't want it to be Mal. He just goes through, he's a great contactor. So I was holding on to that as an excuse. I was also saying I'm busy. And when I was thinking I am actually busy. I know some people say busy, but I was working from 9 o'clock in the morning after I dropped the kids off to school to 2 a.m., you know, on my company. I'm here at the computer, like get up to eat sort of thing. So I just got to a point though where got tired of my own excuses. I could hear myself making them. I thought, you know what you're doing. But with regards to the list, no, it's pretty much been a fresh list. And we are looking for people who are struggling with their health or people who are struggling with their finances. So our list is only everybody, you know. Our list is the entire world. Everybody walking past you, everybody on your Facebook, everybody you're going to meet.
Only people that have cells. We only want people that have cells.
The list is huge. And it doesn't take a long time to be able to say to somebody, I have something I think you really need to look at. I mean, and I'm not aggressive with it, I don't think, but, you know, if somebody comes to my door like the other day to sell me electricity and I said, I don't need electricity, you know, but he asked me a question, what do you do? I said, well, you need to sit down with me at a different time. Let's make a time now. You know, I don't think it's a hard thing to say to somebody who's unwell, I think I have something that can help. I'd really like you to talk to Danny. Danny met yesterday with somebody that called me about a different job. And I said, no, that job's not available anymore, but there's something I think we should talk about. You know, I think it's a very easy conversation because absolutely everybody is hurting either financially or with their health. So yeah, not the list, didn't have a big list and didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I'm really impressed with is how you multitask. Even when we've been on some calls recently, you're picking up kids, you're juggling things, and you're very talented at that. So, you know, and everybody has a busy life. I mean, time is the one thing that no one has any more than anybody else. And so it's just a matter of fitting it in the nooks and crannies of your day. And we've got kind of move on here a little bit. But the one thing I do want to just acknowledge you for is how you've stepped up. And maybe just take a minute and talk about that, because the thing is that you're an incredibly good team player. I mean, you utilize your upline team, but you don't just wait for your team to, you know, your upline to do it for you. You've absolutely stepped up. You've created, you know, tell us just briefly what you've done to kind of step up and take it in terms of taking leadership and being there for your team, you know, personally.
You know, I didn't really want to sort of seek out to be a leader. But thank you. But I just wanted to get this done. You know, I've got an urgency and to tell you the truth, this has been really emotional for me because I thought I've progressed so much. I've, you know, worked so hard to set my company up, and to watch things crumbling was really disappointing. So when I started looking at this, I was like, do I really have it in me to climb a mountain again? And, you know, for me, it's been about my family and looking at my 4 boys. And I look at them and I think, you're worth everything that I have to do. I don't care. I'll make the phone calls. I'll run webinars. And this has been a journey of just saying, yep, I'll do that. I just say yes. You know, can you do a webinar in French? Sure. You know, how about Spanish? Why not? You know, and I'm Google translating, you know, medical terms and, you know, just saying constantly yes. And when I hit a crisis financially, I realized that in business, like in life, the only way things are going to change is if I take responsibility and I just do it. So I haven't really gone to try and become to take a leadership position. I just need this done. It's just a sense of urgency.
Well, we really respect how you've just stepped up and just got it done, because that's what it is. It's your business. And everybody, when they sign up, they don't have a boss. They don't have a time card to punch. It's setting your goals, setting your objectives and, you know, what you want to do. And the thing that's so beautiful is when you create this, you're creating residual income. I know we were just chatting. I think you're well on track for earning a strong 6-figure income, even your first year from really engaging in this. What has that meant to you financially, and the freedom that's creating for you? Because you're not going to get that text message or that email from your clients saying we're done.
It's meant relief. But, you know, I can actually see a way through. It's really, really stressful when you're sort of responsible for children and you can't see a way through it. And it's stressful and it hurts your self-esteem to kind of go, wow, like I was driving around a big fancy car at 23 and, you know, now I'm struggling to start the car in the driveway at 40. Like, this is not right, you know? So, what this has given me is the opportunity to see a way through. It's given us choices. I work from home again with my kids, travel. My partner, Matt, as you know, lives in the US, so it gives us the flexibility to go back and forth. We're not constrained by 4 weeks holiday allowance or this is what you'll earn. We were saying the other day, this is a buyback on our life. We're literally, by our efforts right now, we're clawing back the next 30 years of what would have been work. We're gaining trips that we never would have had. We're having experiences for the children that didn't exist. They weren't on the plan. In a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to close my agency for good, and you will hear about it. I'm so excited because I am just done listening to, being told and having my finances controlled by clients or by deadlines. This has given me freedom. We talk about days of slavery being like so far away, but I've felt like a slave, to the bank, to the clients, to this sense of constant obligation. This business is allowing me to actually shed that, and yeah.
That's so exciting. That's so exciting. Just real quick, just two more things that I want you to just address. We just recently completed a training with Larry McFarland on the Genie program. We've been really impressed with the duplicate. What is it? Is that something that you're using or intend to use? And what do you like about that? Where do you see that being able to help your business?
Yeah, look, so my organization is like this, like 100 sheets of paper floating around. So Genie's allowing us to get organized, and I'm not very organized. And as the organization grows, there comes a point where you really need assistance. So I am using Genie, very basic ways at the moment, but it's wonderful to get reminders. That's particularly how I'm using it. And also I know what's happening in my team. And congratulations, such and such has done this, and you can give people a call. It gives you the ability to be engaged.
Yeah, beautiful. Any last words of advice that you'd give someone that's just sitting there thinking, am I ready to jump in this and go for it?
Look, just quickly, I think the thing is just treat it like a business. I've seen lots of people through the network marketing industry come and go, and if you're going to poke at it and do it when you remember it, it's not going to pay a six-figure income. A six-figure income is going to demand your attention. And at the beginning, it's disproportionate amount of attention. You do so much, your like time is absorbed, and then you get, $50. And it's kind of like, what? It's but you've got to realize that the seesaw changes, and later on you'll be getting and earning so much for so little in a way. And you've just got to trust that seesaw is going to change, and you've just got to trust the process. I spent a lot of time at the beginning, kind of when I was just looking at this, trying to figure it out, trying to look at the information. And my last word of advice would be, there are a dozen different paths up the mountain. Do not wait for perfection. If you talk to 10 different diamonds, there'll be 10 different ways. Just find your own path. There's only one thing you can do to stuff it up, and it's to stop. So just get easy, massive action, make a mess.
Cristina, thank you so much for joining us and being, we just want to let you know that we love and appreciate you, and you're doing amazing things, and congratulations.
Thank you, Cristina.
Thank you.
You're so authentic, genuine, and I don't know anyone who doesn't know you, who doesn't believe in you and recognize the stardom within inside. So thank you for sharing with all of us.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry I always get so emotional every time, I try to hold myself together.
Oh, you're amazing.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Let's see. Now we get to hear from Kaleen O'Connor. Kaleen has been absolutely driving things in just an amazing way over in Clearwater, Florida. And she has really stepped up, taken the lead in her business, achieved the level of platinum. And Kaleen, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Fantastic. Is your camera muted, or let's see, just want to make sure that you're, oh, there you are. There you are. Okay, we just had it on speaker view. So, all right, fantastic. Kaleen, tell us a little bit about your background and how you were introduced to ASEA, your journey into this.
Sure. Well, I'm from the East Coast of the United States. I grew up in Virginia, right outside Washington, D.C. And my husband's actually from the south of Brazil. He grew up on a cattle ranch and working farm. And we met in the U.S. before ASEA. We've been married for 10 years. And we had a business, like a traditional business, landscaping in the Washington, D.C. area. And then we moved to Florida for multiple reasons, primarily to help some family members. And so we sold our business and had to completely start over. And that was 3 years ago. And we decided, okay, let's be employees for a while and sort of figure out, this sector of the world. And it was rough, especially after owning our own business. And the final straw was maybe our second employment that we both chose, where we decided we would help some friends launch a project. And then they decided within a few months to just phase it out, and we were laid off, and we went, wow, okay, if we're going to continue to live in this area, we've got to really figure this out. So we took a trip for a week. We just went away and went, let's refocus on our life. And we thought, if we could find a business that could connect us back to the international, kind of communication lines of the world and allow us to potentially live anywhere, because we have family in Brazil as well as family in the US, and it would be something we could really believe in, that's what we're looking for. And my background is international development. I used to work overseas a lot for nonprofits for almost 20 years, and also in the US, and then public relations and event planning. And obviously Milton ran his own farm in Brazil for many years, and then, came and was a business owner. So 2 weeks later, after that sort of retreat that we took, we went to a business meeting and actually met Dan Doyle here in Clearwater. He was passing through town to help a brand new distributor launch her business more. And he told a little bit of his story. And I've actually had some health conditions that I've suffered from for almost 25 years that I manage, but that affect my life a lot. And I went, oh, that's interesting. And it sort of stayed in our universe. And then he was traveling somewhere, maybe to Utah for a meeting or something. And he mentioned at that meeting, I'll be back in a few weeks and I'm going to do a seminar. And his, anyway, and so, his downline, Sandy Reed, reached out to us and said, come to the seminar. And we came. And when we heard his story and heard the science behind it, we went, okay, it looks like we should try this. And at that point, it was more as consumers. We took a sample of the ASEA that night. And the one thing we noticed is we just slept great the next day. And we went for a walk on the beach. And because we'd been pretty stressed, we would just go for short walks and then go, okay, we're tired, let's go handle life. And we walked for an hour and a half and didn't even notice that, we had, because we just had so much energy. So we went back to Sandy's house and we're like, okay, really, what is this? What is this? You got our attention now, and at that point, in our first week on the product, I think I mentioned to you, Bart, it was almost like a spiritual thing. I was so moved by the fact that this was something very different, that I would wake up with people on my heart that I needed to reach out to. Yeah. Some of them I hadn't even talked to in a long time. And I would call them, and every single one needed to hear about this. It was a wild experience. So
I love the fact that you were following your heart, and that was something, the conversation that we had, how you began and what you said. And also I want to make sure that I acknowledge Milton too, because I know that you guys have been a team in everything that you do, and how you've, made your decisions moving forward. But just share with us a little bit more about following your heart. And because truly, I think that's one of, our intuition, that internal guidance system that we've had, the people that we feel impressed to call. And so when you call these people, what did you say to them? How did you feel? You just had people that kind of popped in your mind. And just for example, like when I heard about this technology and I thought of Danny, I said, he needs to know about this. Tell us a little bit about your journey in that process when you got started.
So I see myself as a truth seeker. I've kind of my whole life had that viewpoint and that awareness. And so I look for things that are the truth and things that work and that can help myself and others. And I have kind of an anchor, an antenna for that. And so, and also to, keep myself alive, literally, because I did almost die in my 20s with, the health challenges I had. I have studied health and nutrition for myself, for my own quality of life for years. And so I have just a good base knowledge, just, I'm, as an amateur for my own quality of life. And particularly because of the, of Danny's story and the specifics of it, one particular person that next day who had a similar health challenge that was terminal, that I'd known for years, that I'd worked for in a nonprofit before. I called him and I just said, listen, I'm testing a product on myself. The science behind it is really solid. I can tell that it's very unique in what it does. I really want you need to know about it. And I just had that conviction about it because it was real for me. I did have that conviction. And then I'm known among my circle of friends, again, for kind of knowing a lot about health and wellness. And so I could speak from that altitude and just go, listen, guys, I'm testing this. I've looked at the science. You need to know about it. Do you have a few minutes? And that was basically how I started each call. Because at that point, I didn't know how to sign someone up. I didn't know packages really or pricing that much. And so I relied, on my upline to help me with that, both of them I did. Yeah.
So that's, it's so important to just follow our heart. One thing when we were talking, I said, what's been one of the keys to your success? And one of the things that you brought up straight away was big events and getting people to, tell us about getting people to some of the events. In fact, you had kind of an interesting experience at the convention too, where I think you were told, hey, you're supposed to be up on stage. But just talk to us a little bit about events and getting people to events and what your experience is about events, because that's certainly
sure. Yeah. Well, so, I think the key thing to remember, so Milton and I didn't have experience in network marketing before. We're still figuring out what all that means. But obviously we had experience in traditional business, and for me, more so in the nonprofit world. But to me, what I love about ASEA and what seems to be true about network marketing is that it's a collaborative business model. And so we really are, we call it relationship marketing for a reason. We're building networks, we're building connections of people. And for me, what's real about events is it's a very quick way to introduce either a person you want to share ASEA with, or someone that's part of your team already, to the company culture and to the collaborative energy of the team. And so, for example, the reason we were able to learn a lot and connect and grow fairly quickly is because of amazing support from our upline, specifically Danny and other members of our team. And even, to the point where very early on, because Danny was back in Australia, he mentioned, you should reach out to Ed Weens. He's part of our team. He's not that far from you. And so I had someone really building things strong in Washington, D.C. that kept saying, can you come up and help me with an event? So I literally called Ed Weens cold and I said, Ed, we haven't met yet. I've got a team not too far from you in Northern Virginia. Would your schedule permit, this is when we're looking at going up. And it was sort of serendipitous because he was literally helping a family member on a cycle and taking a train that would pass right through the city where I was doing the event on the weekend that we needed him. So
amazing how those coincidences work.
I know, right? And literally he came up, he did a phenomenal presentation, and yeah, and then, we were able to really back up that team and, and again, see the system work and see that we didn't have to be experts right away. And that, like Cristina was saying, like really rely on our upline. So anyway, so kind of taking that back more direct to your question on events, to me, we're social beings. We thrive better in community, not by ourselves. And so when we come together as an event, it's more efficient because you fill a room with 20 people and they're all getting a presentation instead of having to do 20 one-on-one calls. But also, again, it introduces people to the company culture. I find just the way the mind works, the human mind, we work more on more agreement. So for example, if someone refers a book to me and says it's a great book, I might go, okay, maybe I'll read it. Now maybe 5 other people do. And then I go, that's interesting. There's more agreement that this is a good thing. And so when you go to an event and you see leadership up on the stage, you see people excited in the audience, I don't think you can exchange that, not that the one-on-ones aren't valuable, but to me, the events are where we can really build momentum and build more reality of this life-changing technology.
Yeah, well,
certainly 20 people in Envision, and
Yeah.
in Maryland.
Yeah. So Milton was saying, we worked really hard to leverage the Envision events that just happened this spring, because that was our first time experiencing them, and, encouraging a lot of our teammates to go.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know that you got on there and saw where the Envision events were happening all across the U.S. Hey, there's one in Texas. We got to get people to that. Look, we just commend you for being not only such a great team player, but also for just really stepping up and taking the leadership in your business. I know that you and Mauricio, get together and you plan and you strategize at his business. We'll talk with him a little bit more about that. But just real quick, I know that you've been involved and engaged with some of the trainings that we've had on the Genie. Is that something that you see in using and implementing, and what do you see as a benefit for that in helping you to create duplication in your business?
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. I need to put more time into really learning the mechanics of it, but I've used what we call in marketing CRM, customer relationship management systems, before. And so to me, there's a beautiful side of it to help manage your prospects, but also to stay in communication with your team. So I'm looking forward to, both of us to kind of grooving it in more with ourselves and then with the team too.
Fantastic.
Very valuable when somebody sign up and you get a message back and say, hey, somebody sign one person there. Then we can go and say, congrats for that, and talk to your downline. It's really viable for the business.
Absolutely it is. And you two are a phenomenal team. You work so beautifully together, and I know you do everything together. It's been inspiring, to say the least, to watch what you've been doing in Clearwater and across America. And of course, you've got a lot of support out here when you grow your team in Australia. So we've been so impressed by both of you. We're so grateful to be able to get to know you both a lot better. And we probably won't see you until maybe Dallas, but we're so grateful that you came on today. We've learnt a lot from both of you, and we absolutely know that you'll be up on stage continuously. May not be your drive, but you two are phenomenal leaders and definitely rising stars. So thank you for being with us today. Really enjoyed your company.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate, all the backline work that you guys do, because I know even just putting together these calls is hours of training and organizing and reaching out and logistics. And so thank you for doing that each month for all of us worldwide. It makes a huge difference.
Thanks, Kaleen. Yeah. Thanks, Hamilton.
She gets the credit.
Thank you. We'll catch up soon.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Hamilton.
All right. Let's see. I believe that I just promoted you. Mauricio, are you there? Mauricio Munoz is, there you are.
Yes, I'm here.
You hear me?
There he is.
I'm here. Okay. Hello, guys.
Wow.
There's
Look at your office.
There's the world headquarters.
Yes, my office. Can you see my office? There you go.
I love it.
Yeah, I love that. I was just telling Melissa that you had turned your business, portion of it, into your ASEA World headquarters as well. And so,
yes.
So that's what we're seeing right there.
That's right.
So thank you and welcome to the call. I tell you what, this guy right here has just been doing amazing things and building a global business. Tell us a little bit about your background and where you're at and where you're from.
Yes, well, I'm from Colombia. I'm an industrial engineer. I moved to the United States in 2004, 14 years ago. I married a beautiful German girl, and I have 4 daughters. I started a company about 10 years ago, and I have a pressure washing company. And this is my office, and I now, basically, probably 80% of this space is the ASEA headquarters for Clearwater. That's how I call it. And I'm working here with Kaleen, and when Danny comes to town, he comes to help us as well. And, basically everybody who wants to build a business is welcome to come to my place.
Yeah, fantastic. So the one thing that I was really impressed with, Mauricio, is that you've really had to step up in terms of, your first language isn't, your first language is Spanish, there really wasn't a whole lot happening in Florida at the time. Your business has expanded globally. You actually went into Colombia before Colombia was even open. Just tell us a little bit about your decision to really step up and treat this like a business, and what you've done to build your business globally. And also that I know that you've worked very closely with Danny when he's come down, and it's a big commitment to make some of those decisions because you truly have treated this like a business.
Yes, that's right. I think I didn't have any chance, honestly, because like you said, my first language is Spanish, and when I found the product, because I have a health challenge. I have actually a car accident, and I turned my tendon on my left shoulder, and I couldn't move my arm. So after several weeks with the problem, a friend of mine recommended the product to me, so I started to use it. I was going to have a surgery actually, and took about 2 months for the product to do the magic, and I started to move my arm again. I canceled the surgery. I never had the surgery, and I started to tell everybody about it. And around this time, Danny came to Clearwater, and I went to the presentation. One of the first presentations here in Clearwater, in Sandy's house, Sandy Reed, my sponsor. And I was, paying close attention because, I still struggling with the language, the English, and the Australian English wasn't so easy for me. So I have to go to several meetings, and then I start to learn, and I get too into the science of the product. So every time I was driving, I was listening to Dr. Gary Samuelson, webinars, videos in YouTube. So I really trained myself. So I started to tell all my friends about it. And in one of the presentations, I invited several friends who joined to the business. And suddenly I started to have calls from everybody, especially from the Latin market, right? The Central and South American countries. I myself started to send the product to my mom and family members in Colombia. And suddenly I started to build a network without wanting it. I really never imagined to get involved in the business. I didn't want to do anything in regards to the business. I was pretty busy with my own company. But I was the only one that speaks Spanish in the area, in the business. So I was kind of like advising everybody, right? And I'm still doing that. I consider myself very lucky because Danny came a few months later in February. And Danny's crazy, and everybody knows that, right? So Sandy and we were talking one day, and we say, you know what, we're gonna have to go to Colombia. I think I made the comment and say, okay, let's go. Just put some people together there, and we go. And in the first few months, a very good friend of mine from Costa Rica, who was having a health challenge, and like everybody else was getting benefits from the product, was sending the product to Costa Rica. And he said, if you guys come here, I organize a meeting. And then he said, okay, let's go. So Sandy, Dan, and me went to Costa Rica. Then we went to Colombia. And we didn't go to Guatemala this time, I believe. So we had so much fun, and we start to create the business in the Latin market, right? And we did the same few months later in, I believe, August, if I'm not wrong. This time we add another country, actually 2, Chile and Guatemala. And the experience was just amazing. We have our challenges, right? Because it's not easy. There are no countries that are open. There are third world countries. The product is not cheap over there. And we have all these barriers with the shipping. And oh my God, if I tell you guys, I have, so, but this is what it is, these big games also come with these barriers, and this is what is fun about it, right? This is the beauty of this.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
We were talking a little bit. I mean, we can see a little bit of an image of your war room, if you will, your strategy room, your world headquarters, but you've got your whiteboards up somewhere there, I know.
Let me show you. We have our, the chairs, and we have more chairs, the screen over there, and we have one board here with the calendar, and another board over here with the red apples, and another one over here that is behind the camera. So, yeah, we play around with all these tools, and I've been learning from Danny, of course, and he was the one that advised me to do this. It's been fun.
So you're putting thought into it. You're stepping up, and once again, I'd really like to acknowledge you for being such a great team player, but also for taking the leadership role in your business and treating it like a business. And it's very obvious to see that that you're very methodical with what you do. You got your planning, you got your strategizing, you're working with your team, and you're doing whatever it takes, including, you were one of the key people that made it, that helped bring Colombia to the place where they're opening Colombia now. So that's very inspirational. Creating webinars in Spanish, all those things really take the courage to step up and make things happen. The one thing before we wrap up that I'd like to talk with you about a little bit is I know we even talked about the Genie and that you're excited about working with that too, if you want to make any comments, but I'd like to hear mostly about, the fact that your business, you have ups and downs. You've got times that are kind of, you said slow times, and we were talking a little bit financially. You're really starting to reap the rewards. I know that you're going to be able to take a trip here soon with your family. Tell us a little bit about the financial benefit, why you're excited about ASEA, the residual income, what that means for you and your family.
Yes. I guess, as many of you who has had your own business, that run a company is not easy. It comes with all these situations, expenses, and low season, high season, and it's the same for my industry. And it was my only income, right? And my wife is, I don't want to say she doesn't work, because she probably worked harder than me, raising 4 children, right? And she's always at home taking care of the girls, food, etc. But my company was the only source of income. And 4 girls, and I have big expenses, right? The company has its own expenses, and has been a challenge. So after I start to generate this income, which was pretty fast actually, I start to make money from the first week, and I never stopped getting good income. I start to go bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was a relief. I basically covering all my household expenses with my ASEA income, so the company can breathe, and I can just, reinvest the money in the company. Or actually no, my strategy is that, I don't want to sell my company, because I have several employees, and, it's doing good. It's expanding, but I was able to hire somebody to run the company, right, and help me with my business, so I can spend more time building my ASEA business. So that's why I can travel now. I've been in Colombia 4 or 5 times probably, which is another plus point, because, ASEA gave me an excuse to travel and to go to see my family. And this is probably, this is what I like from this business. You make friends all around the world. Look at this. And I didn't have an Australian friend, no, and now I have several, and also in Taiwan, and Guatemala, Costa Rica, everywhere. So I travel, and I like to make friends. I guess everybody here, right? But ASEA has been making this possible in terms of the energy, right? The money.
Yeah. Well, you've
right?
got a trip planned here with, because your girls have never been to Colombia, have they?
No, never been in Colombia.
And so now you got to, tell us.
Yes.
So you got a trip planned to take them and show them where you're from and everything, yeah?
Yes, I'm flying Tuesday with all my family, and it's a big deal. Everybody's making preparations in my country, all my family, and it's a dream come true.
So, last question for you. What words of advice would you give someone that's just starting their business, or really saying, I'm prepared and I'm ready to flip the switch and engage and make it happen? What would be your words of advice?
Well, I think that everybody has this desire for helping people, right? No matter how bad the person can look, or we want to help, right? So for me, it was like that. I never thought about money or building a business. I just wanted to help people, And funny enough, after I engaged in the business, 2 of 3 people that I taught, it has a situation, a challenge, a health challenge, right? So I just start to share with everybody about the product. So this is for me the key, right? Just think about that you have a great product that can change people's life in terms of the health and obviously financially as well. So this is my advice, to keep this in mind, right? The tools, the company has given you all the tools to expand the business, and nowadays it's so easy. With the internet, we have WhatsApp that we can communicate with all around the world. So, and this is what I've been doing. I have like 10 different WhatsApp groups with the different countries, and being in communication with everybody is very important. So it is very simple to build this business, very easy. If I could do it working, 10, 12 hours in my own business with a big family, in a very, very part-time at the beginning, everybody can do it. Yeah,
fantastic. Well, great thoughts and ideas. And I like the idea that, that we are helping and making a difference. We're helping a lot of people. One way I like to think of it is for every dollar that we earn, it represents that we're changing lives, making a difference. So with that in mind, I think we all have a moral obligation to become wealthy.
That's right. That's right.
So thank you so much. You are a tremendous leader, and we acknowledge and congratulate you for everything that you've done. Well done and well deserved. Thank you for joining us today.
Very much.
Thank you so much, Maurizio. Really appreciate having you on. And you certainly lead by example. And the word that I was thinking of is you are absolutely a leader. And I want an office like that too. So
yeah, very convenient.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant.
And have a wonderful time in Colombia with your family.
Thank you very much. I will share my pictures.
Okay,
thanks,
cool.
Maurizio.
Cool. All right. Now we get to hear from Alissa Tucker. Is Alissa, are you with us? There she is.
There she is.
She's unmuted. Perfect. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Alissa, you've got. We've been so impressed with watching what you've done. I know that early on that Danny talked with you and put you in a position, and then all of a sudden, as he's out building it, you're finding that there's a lot of people coming into your business when you weren't even engaged and to begin with, but you finally something caught your attention, and also you've got kind of you've got quite a background as well as a health professional. Maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself and that decision to get going with building ASEA.
Yeah, sure. So a similar story, I guess, to other people where they're saying I'll never go back to multi-level marketing. I definitely had that.
And obviously I've known Danny through other businesses before, and he said, this is different, this is different. I said, yeah, sure, Danny, whatever.
Sometimes we have
I
to
guess then over the, what was that?
Oh, I was just going to say, sometimes we have to kiss a few frogs before we find our prince. And if by any chance this is your first radio and network marketing for anyone, believe me, you've found your home. Sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely found my home. So yeah, I guess Danny kept talking to me, and I guess I'm also a pediatric occupational therapist, and I run my own pediatric therapy clinics across Adelaide. And so just through researching, you know, other ways we like to be ahead of the market and really looking at what we can do for children's health. And so through my research, I guess redox kept coming up, and Danny said, you've got to get to the conference up on the Gold Coast recently. And I don't know what clicked, I guess just trialing the product myself, doing a bit more research, and I went, yeah, I'm going to come. And I just said, yes, I'm going to do it. And so I have, and I'm here and I love it.
Well, you know, it's interesting because, you know, through the Genie, one of the things that I can do is we can click on team, and we can click on this thing called the watch list. And I took a look at that, and you were absolutely right at the top of the leaderboard for top enrollers. I think it was, trying to remember, it was 18 people, I believe, that in the last 30 days that you brought on board. So you don't muck around when you get started and you get things going. Tell us about just making the decision and what you do, because I know you're busy, kind of like Cristina, you multitask and you've got other things happening. Just tell us about making the decision and what you do to build your business on a daily basis.
I think part of making the decision is understanding the gift that we have with ASEA and realizing that we have a responsibility to share it. So it's pretty easy to do that with everyone that you come in contact with. And I just make the choice to every time I see someone, every time I communicate with someone, I have to share it with them. I just have to. So I just do. I talk to them very quickly. I use my upline. I do 3 ways. I just do it. And I do it while I'm at work. I do it while I'm on the phone. I'll do it while I'm in the car. I just, am constantly talking to people and supporting my team and training them as well. So trying to juggle corporate world and my business world and ASEA world all at once. But I love being busy, and I love making sure that I can get to the top.
Gosh, in fact, just in the short, we were just talking, just share with us a little bit, if you don't mind, maybe a little bit on the personal side, but I mean, you've been able to reap some pretty good financial success even from the time that you decided to, pull the trigger and engage. And tell us a little bit about that and your vision for the future. Where do you see ASEA for Australia and ASEA for your business in the next year, 3 years, 5 years? What do you see? Because I know that you're not a small thinker by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I'm definitely not. So I think ASEA is just a fantastic company. They're very generous in their compensation plan. And so in the last 5 weeks, I've made just over $5,000 now. And so that's been really nice, additional income, particularly to put back into my own company and to better travel and do nice things, which has been great. I guess the vision that I see for ASEA for myself is combining it together with my passion for pediatric therapy, but also I really see it that it's going to be able to change the nation for healthcare across Australia, and I just can't wait to be training lots of other medical staff and allied health professionals, as well as sharing with people that need it. So yeah, I can't wait for this to really expand, not just obviously in Australia but globally, and I'm looking forward to it.
I asked Alissa, I said, what's your vision the next, year, 3 years ago? She said, what level are you going to be? I said, well, what's the top level? So
I don't know what they're called. So.
Yeah, I love it. It doesn't matter. You're just going to go and do it. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see. The other thing I wanted you to just chat about, because we've got a big event coming up in exactly 1 week from today, and that's the VIP Health Professionals webinar. And this has been sort of an ongoing process. We were talking with Stevie and a number of people that we wanted to. Originally, it was going to be an online event, but then I found out that Danny was going to be in Adelaide with you, and that you've created an event that's going to be at the same time. So we're working as a physical event as well as an online event. Maybe just tell us a little bit about that. Maybe what people, just what advice you'd give people to talk with, pick up their chicken list and talk with some health professionals and get them to the event. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think I've had a passion for being able to share the science and research of redox signaling directly to allied health and medical professionals. So I wanted to create a safe space for them. I know that it can be quite challenging for some medical staff to step out of their box. So yeah, just chatting with Danny and said, can we get a room full of medical professionals together where we can actually just teach them from a medical platform? So yeah, on Saturday we do have obviously Dr. Rob Ward talking, you're talking, Bart, Danny's talking, but it's a really great place that if you've got anyone that's in the medical world or allied health professional world to join in, to log on, it's going to be a great time for them to learn about the science and how they can also incorporate this into their clinics in Australia. So just put it out there, invite them. There's a flyer going around. It's going to be a really safe space for them, and it's going to give them the information that they need to hopefully be using this in their clinics themselves.
Yeah, certainly. Doctors like talking to doctors, and this is a chance to kind of have an elite red carpet event for them. And if you're not a health professional and you want to attend, just bring a health professional along, and you can jump on as well. So the newsletters and everything have had the link there to go ahead and register. When they register on the LinkedIn or on the Eventbrite link, then what will happen is that they'll get reminders as well the day before and an hour before. So we want to really make that a successful event for everybody, and it's a perfect excuse to pull out your chicken list, because sometimes people are afraid or intimidated to talk to their health professionals or their doctors or whatever, but this is a great chance to spread the word. So we want to encourage everybody to do this. Any last advice or suggestions that you would give someone starting their business and making the decision?
I think you just have to make the choice, and then you have to make that choice every single day and every single moment. So when you're in a conversation, you make the choice to step out and offer the gift every time you talk to someone. And so it's not just making the choice once, it's making the choice continually throughout your day and just saying, yes, I'm going to fit it in. Yes, I'm going to share this with you. So yeah, I just encourage everyone to do it. Just do it, really, and start sharing. Yeah.
There's absolute magic in those words. In fact, what you just said so resonates with Cristina, what she does, just making the choice, making the decision, not just once, but every day, throughout the day, and fitting it in with what you're doing. Obviously, we're so excited and to have you on the team with us, and just totally respect what you're doing and the leadership role that you're taking. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bart. It's such a privilege.
Yeah, well, we're both looking forward to meeting you in person. And I used to live in Adelaide, so I love Adelaide. So it's so great to have a rising star in Adelaide, and you're having so much fun. We've been hearing a lot about you from Dan, and obviously the statistics, seeing your name over everything. So congratulations. We're really, really excited you're part of the team, and we look forward to watching your success, seeing your results. You're amazing. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, we've got one more, and we saved an amazing rock star for last. This is.
Hopefully, you're still on the line, Richard.
Yeah, are you there with us, Richard? Yeah. All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard, let me just tell you a little bit about this amazing guy. Richard Lee is at the last Envision conference that we had. He was recognized as not just among the top emerging leaders, but he was recognized as the number one emerging leader, the number one top leadership development in Australia, the number one top EMP earner, executive momentum pool. He was in the top growth. He was also in the top income earners, and he also is qualified for the Ascent. So a big, massive round of applause for this rock star. Such an amazing guy. So, Richard, thank you for joining us on the call. And just, if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about yourself and also how you heard about this, because it was interesting when I was in Melbourne, we had a little bit of a chat. I just kind of presumed that you must have this incredible experience with network marketing because of your rise to success. But but you put on your pants just the same as everybody else does, and and you don't, you just have. Just tell us a little bit about your background and your journey to ASEA, because I think it's quite profound.
Right. Thank you, Bart. Thank you, Melissa. Yeah. So I listened to all your stories this morning. It just inspired me a lot and reminded me my story with ASEA. All right. So I stand there. I think then I want to share my story with Dan Doyle and Lorraine Bevak. We had a very good story. Reminded me in 2016. So let me just tell a little bit about my background. I lived in China, in Beijing for nearly 30 years. I spent 25 years in computer telecommunications industry for a long time. And then my family decided to immigrate to Australia, and we selected Melbourne, the number one most livable city in the world. So we should change my life. I think at the time, at the Beijing is pollution everywhere. So I say we need to find some other place to live because of the pollution, the air pollution. So then in 2009, we moved to Melbourne, and I still have my computer job and develop my software company in Beijing. And I got lots of clients in China. So I have my own products in China. And I spend a lot of time working on computer. I got my health issues as well. My headache, my neck problems, back problems. I spend so much time on computer, and I always feel my eyes dry. So I say, when I moved to Australia, I want to look after myself. Now I start to look after my health. And then I always have been fascinated with the human body, to be honestly. The first interesting is computer. The second is my human body myself. I think the complexity of my body is my fascinating. So I practice traditional Chinese exercise like Tai Chi, Qigong all the time in 30 years. So when I decided to move to Australia, I say I want to practice. I don't want to touch computer. I don't want to do much job. I just want to relax, to enjoy myself for a few years. And then I start looking after some things. I had another baby. So that's lucky since I'm absolutely blessed. My life was blessed. So I had another a baby in 2011, and then my wife got a postnatal depression. I was I need to do something for my family, so I need to look after something to help my wife, because she had a postnatal depression. And then at that time I worked in an Australian medical equipment company. I worked as a therapy coach because I travel all the time, every week, to see the clients everywhere in Victoria. So I just so tired when I get back home. I said I need to look after some medicine or some nutrition. And one day, my clients recommend something juice and I tasted it. I said, wow, it feels good. And then I started looking into the website. I found this is a direct sale company, and I learned something from there. And I said, oh, there is a network marketing company in Melbourne. So I joined, I think, yes, and then start learning the network marketing experience from that. So after that, I just keep consume the product. I don't want to do much promotions because I got too much to do with my family, with my house job. And my wife was working, and she got a job. She felt better when she worked, and because her depression is a terrible thing. Sometimes I look up my baby boy. Okay, so I just keep drinking the product. I thought the product was good, and I didn't want to do any others. And 2016, on October, I revisited my old friend Jill and Peter, and they were I think 80 years old now. As they were lives, we knew each other for probably 5 years. I said, what happens to them? I want to go back to have a talk to them. And then I revisit them. They share the story, they share the product as ASEA. I said, what's ASEA? They're so generous to give me a cup to drink. I said, nasty. It's so good. I don't want to take, I said, what this? It's terrible. I said, oh, Richard, you must have a look. I know you like to study, you like to look after yourself. I say, how come? It's not a juice. And Jill told me, Richard, this is absolutely different, because they knew me a long time. So I said, hey, you must have a look at, because what good for you? I said, oh, in just 1 week, I had a good sleep. Since I had trouble for 2 years. I thought, is that true? I don't believe. I just skipped, And the next, I think the following Monday, I still remember following Monday, and Jill rang me, said, hey, Richard, I got a gentleman from Sydney and came down to Melbourne, give us a presentation. Would you like to have a listen? I said, okay, why not? Where is it? I said, nearly there. And then, okay, I always like to study, I'm always fascinated with the something can help ourselves, help the health. Okay, I just straight away, I drove there and meet Dan Doyle. I saw, be honest with you, Bart, on that line, I didn't impress me much, because Dan Doyle was not look healthier. And he looks tired, and he said, why this good for you? You looks not good. And why I want to join? And Doyle look at me. Do you want to join? No, I don't have no interest in. And Noreen, but Noreen Belfast sit beside me, and she looked at me. So, do you want to join? I said, no, I sit beside about 20 people sit in that room, and I had talked with everybody. So what your testimonial? What benefit for you? I asked everybody, and Jim. I still remember Jean Sweet, and her husband introduced me how good this product for her diabetes, for his diabetes, and for his hair growing. I said, is that true? I still worry. I still skeptic, because I love the product like juice. Like natural juice, sort of tasting good. But be honest with you, I'm interested anyway. When I get back in the night, I Google on the internet and found, wow, it's different. There's so many doctors on the website and talking about the product, they talk about the sounds. I talk about what's called, it's a signaling molecules, and it's totally different. And then you know why? I check on Facebook. I found, I reminded me the Facebook message. I found in 2015, September 2015, Lauren Beffer was my Facebook friend. And she messaged me, the event. She invited me to attend the event. And I checked Lauren's background on the internet. So she was an athlete. She was a champion. Hey, interesting. And the next morning, I ran. I remember I called Dan Doyle. I said, "Hey, Dan. So do you have time? I have a doctor friend, and would you able to we catch up somewhere, have a chat? So I'm interested in the technology. I'm not interested in the test, but anyway. So then, of course, wherever I can come. So and he came down to we meet in the middle way in Campbell somewhere, had a coffee. I invited my doctor friend, Dr. Wang, and we had a chat, and he showed the photo of his experience with this product. I said, is that true? It's amazing. Okay, and I still not joined at that day. I still skeptical, but Dr. Wang said, hey, Richard, this is good. And this, because I heard this before last year, and when I was in Europe, lots of American doctors talking about the redox, and you should have a good, and that is done probably 1 week, all the day. I spent day and night and studying on the internet, so what this looks like. And then one day I make up my mind, okay, I should do something. And I ring Lorraine, would you be able to give us a thorough presentation? And if I invite some of my Chinese friends, because at that night, at the first night, I hadn't had put my mind in listening all the technologies. And then Lorraine say, no problem, I come to my house. And then I called my friend, I invite some of my best friends. I say, hey, I got something special. I want to show you, maybe it's good for your life and good for your health. And they follow me. And Noreen Bedford give us a thorough presentation. I did the translation, be honestly. And when Noreen told me she was Russell Crown's personal trainer, and I didn't know what Russell Crown was. And I asked Noreen, who was Russell Crown? And Noreen told me, hey, are you Australian? And Noreen told me who was, and she was Shen Wang's personal trainer. I didn't know much about Shen Wang. And I asked Noreen, who was Shen Wang? I said, wow, she was so upset. Anyway, so I learned from that, and some of my friends want to try. I said, if you want to try, I want to try first. And then I joined anyway. So I started from there. But are you
sorry,
there?
Yeah. So I guess one of the things that I'm really picking up from what you're saying here, and it's kind of interesting. I want you to listen to this because, Richard, you had jumped in with another juice company, obviously.
Yes.
But you used that product. You didn't go on and be one of the top leaders with that company.
No.
You had, you didn't have any experience with networking or really sales. Your background was in computers, and so really from the outside, if you were to look at Richard, you would think, is he going to be, the top leader of all of Australia and so many of these things? Like I said, you put your pants on the same way, but the thing is, you just made a decision. You were a little bit skeptical. So I'm hearing lots of morals to the story, and that is to follow up, to really stay connected to, and it's just an inspiration that you really recognized and saw the science and that you're passionate. I know that one thing we talked about, I want you to address before we have to wrap up, because we've got some other things we need to move to as well. But okay. I was saying, you're among the top income earners, so obviously you've had some phenomenal success there. And one thing that you told me about was personal growth was something that you're really excited about. What you've been able to do is grow as a person. And so, if you want to share anything in terms of just briefly what the financial success has meant to you, but I know the personal growth is something that you've been pretty passionate about. So if you want to just touch on that before we need to move on, just touch on that quickly. We'd love to hear that from you.
Okay, good. Yes, when I make the decision, okay, I just say, look, I know network marketing is a good industry, and people made such a success. I heard lots of Chinese people had a success story in network marketing before. But I say maybe it's not suited for me, but for ASEA, I did a lot of research. After that, I show something. I show something interesting things. This is what inspired me. Okay, two things inspired me. One is I watched over and over Ward Norton's genesis of ASEA. Okay, and what I checked the ASEA cellular health, the mission, the culture, the strategy, the core values of this. I printed out, enumerated out. I show everybody the company, because we're always looking for the business opportunity anyway. And we're always looking for something to help our health beyond 50. I'm 52, be honestly. I'm so glad Bart told me I'm looking smart this morning. But before I was not like that. I had neck problems, back problems. I just feel myself, I'm falling apart. When I came down to Melbourne to immigrate to Australia, I've just for my health, because my health. So that's why my wife said, you need to come down. You gave up your business in China. You come down, you look after yourself, look at my family, and we have another young kids. We should, live a normal life, not like always traveling, busy. So when I decided to do the business, I say, if I commit to the business, I must be successful. I like my before I worked on computer, company, set up my own company. I worked with my friends to build up the product. Very successful. So I went to another successful story in Australia, but just health industry. Okay. So maybe ASEA is good. I check everything on internet for ASEA's culture, product, technology, team members. I keep talking to Dan Doyle, and to check with them, ask them, so what the company looks like, what the leaders, what the founders looks like, because I be honest, I can share my my standard to choose a company. Okay, first the company must be the product must be works. The product must be safe. Okay, that's two. Another thing is that the company must be very very good, stable. Sustainable, and the third thing is the management team. The owner of the company must be very kind, and generous. Otherwise, it wouldn't be success. And another thing is the team. Our team leaders must be good, must be strong. So I checked all of them. I say, look, this is a risk. I put myself 12 months. To see how much I can achieve. I don't care how much money I can earn, but I want to make sure how success I can be in 12 months. I just working hard and hard day on day. So that's why I commit myself. So make the decision, commitment. This is what I do. Yeah.
You definitely made a decision, and we acknowledge and compliment you on being such a great inspiration and leader to your team. Obviously, you come from that heart space of making a difference with people, helping them with their health. But and I know that your work ethic is remarkable. You definitely do whatever it takes, and we're so proud to have you on, and excited to have you on the team with us. And you're just an all around great guy. So thank you for joining us on the call today, Richard. It's really good to hear your story, and lots of little tidbits of wisdom that you've shared with us from, even your sponsor, Jill and Peter, at 80 years old, they were the ones that found you, and connecting with your team, working with Danny, working with in-home presentations, bringing people to meetings and events, the personal growth.
Well, you've pioneered the Chinese translations of everything. You've pioneered the Asian community in Australia, like Mauricio with Colombia. So you truly are a leader, Richard. And we absolutely know that you're going to continue to sweep the pools because you're making such a difference and adding incredible value. So thank you for all you do for all of us. And we really appreciate you being on today. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you. Thank you, Bart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And what we'd like to do is, Dan, are you there?
Yeah, g'day. Wow, that was absolutely amazing. Those interviews were incredible, and there were so many comments coming in from the field, people listening in. I'm blown away. They brought back so many memories to me. I work very closely with these guys. They are beautiful, amazing people, and I don't say that lightly. They're doing an incredible job. They're successful. They're going to be more successful. But you need to ask yourself, what do they have in common? Because they're all so different. I mean, I'm different. I'm quirky. I'm totally different to anybody. But, they've come from different backgrounds, different nationalities. They've got different challenges, but they are all doing this. So, when you're listening to what these guys have to say, what is the common denominator? Why are they successful? Cristina mentioned, she was a slave to the system, a slave to society. they become servant leaders to the world. That's probably the biggest thing here. And they never say no to their team. Everything's a yes. Whatever they can do for everybody is yes. Nothing is too hard. They know that in order to be successful themselves, they've got to help others to be successful as well. They're consistent, they're persistent. I mean, I look at these guys and I can see Kaleen and Milton and Alissa, and I look at these challenges that I know they have with, you know, either being still employed or running a business while trying to do this. But, you know, Mauricio picking up the phone in the middle of going to give a quote on a pressure washing, you know, job, and doing a three-way call with Alissa Tucker in the middle of organising appointments for her business, and, you know, taking payments on what she does. Just incredible. But the common denominator here is, I said, consistency, persistency, servant leaders. They're putting every single waking second of their day outside of what they have to do in their lives into building this business. And, you know, Cristina again said, the only time you're going to fail is if you stop or give up. So, guys, you're doing a great job. Can't wait to hear your diamond speeches this year at convention. Really appreciate everything that you do. You're the red apples of this business. There's a lot of red apples on this call. We're here for you. I'm your servant leader. Bart and Liz is your servant leader. We are all, everybody's on this call servant leader. So keep up the great work, and really appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dan. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
I know it's been a long call. I'm not going to apologise for going over time-wise, because it's been absolutely phenomenal and really a great opportunity to learn from everybody on the webinar today. So I'm going to run through, we've got a little bit more content. We want to make sure that you're staying connected and plugged into, so we're going to very quickly run through upcoming events as well, and just touch on a couple of pieces of information that Dan, Bart and I feel is really pertinent for you to know and understand in your business right now. So for those of you who are on the Genie webinars with Larry McFarlane, you can go get the recordings by logging into Genie. You can see the process from the screenshot, training, ABC webinars. The first 3 recordings are loaded. I think the 4th now. Took that screenshot last week.
To get to the Genie, I think everybody knows, but just click on menu and you'll see her pop right there.
That's right.
And so all you got to do is click on it, and it's that easy to get started.
And also in the newsletters that we send out, please read them, because it has all the content in there. I often get text messages during the week from people who are looking for information because the email's sitting in their inbox. They haven't had a chance to look at it. So look through those. Everything's contained there. And as Bart said, you'll see this in your virtual office. Get the free account at the very least, because of how important she is at helping us to organise our future, builds long-term sustainable growth, and more importantly, duplication as well. So you've heard a little bit about that today.
When I started network marketing 24 years ago, I had some really good runs, was one of the top leaders in the company. It was all about the follow-up. But I remember I used to start with this little 3x5, you know, this recipe box with the days of the month, the months of the year, and it was all about follow-up. And the Genie makes that system, that ridiculous system of that follow-up, that tickler file system, just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. So the thing I love about her, and I'm starting to really work through this, is she sends a reminder. I can click on, when I send someone an email, I know if they've watched it, I know if they've clicked on the email, I know what they've watched, how much they've watched. I can also, for example, you can watch your team. I can click on and find out, you know, who is the top people who have enrolled, who are the top people that are using the system. You can create mentor lists. There's just so much that you can do. And this system is all about creating duplication. And as your business grows, it truly is about leveraging your time, and it's about duplication. So those are some of the reasons why we're really excited about it and why we're promoting it to the team, because we see it as a tool to be able to leverage and create duplication. And that's why we're really, promoting it, harping on it, talking about it, excited about it, because it's something that can really make a difference.
So watch the videos and then implement the information in the videos. It's the best way to move forward systematically with Genie. So, of course, we've had ASEA via Source launch this past month. We're going to have Dan just mention a little bit about ASEA via Source in your business. So, Dan, are you there?
Yeah, just go back to Genie, guys. You guys know I'm technically challenged on back of the pack when it comes to learning anything, when it comes to computers. Actually, Mel Sword's behind me, so I'm not right at the back of the pack. Just, yeah, on the Genie thing, I absolutely love it. It's the future for our business. No other company on the planet has got this technology. I love the fact that even with the basics, they're getting notified how successful our team is in the enrollment. So just persist and learn, Genie guys, and get into the future with this technology. ASEA Source, very, very excited about this range and the range that's coming out. 91% of the membership, well, everybody was surveyed, but 91% of the membership actually takes a multivitamin. So the company have looked at two things here. They've looked into a market they were missing out on, and they also looked at another door or gateway for us or anybody who doesn't understand redox or it's too overwhelming to come into our business to actually build a business through nutrition. So we've got this incredible supplement that has taken over probably 6 or 7 of what I was taking in a multivitamin and mineral, superfoods, phytonutrients, micronutrients. So we've got the building blocks of the cell in this one supplement. We've got another 2 different technologies coming for different things for the body, obviously, which is going to be released in Texas in September in a longevity product and also a probiotic. But this little range, as I said, just gives us the ability to open up another door to bring people on board into this business that may not otherwise get involved because we've got an overwhelming, mind-blowing technology which sounds too good to be true in redox signaling molecules. So think about it this way. People can build this business on the skincare range, they can build the business on redox, or now they can build the business on nutritional supplements. And we're talking about nutritional supplements that aren't the norm, but, you know, obviously giving us the opportunity as a company and a business as individuals to tap into hundreds of billions of dollars of, you know, turnover that nutritional supplements have around the world.
Thank you so much, Dan. We absolutely feel the same way, and we really appreciate you running through a little bit on the product line coming out this year, because in terms of business building, it's going to be an absolute beautiful addition to everything we're already earning, and we're very blessed that they've transitioned into this particular phase.
And sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think, you know, the guys, all you guys on the call, really, I mean, you guys are the red apples, you're building the business. Get back into your teams and encourage them to get onto the product. The difference it will make to your business in volume coming through it. But not only that, we have had so much experience already, or personal experience, with people taking the product that have enhanced their health dramatically in a short period of time already. So keep in mind, it's, you know, it's doing good for the people taking it, but it's also going to enhance your business also.
I know there's a lot of buzz about the 2 additions to this that are coming out as well. That are supposed to be just mind blowing. So it's going to be exciting to find out what the whole line is and learn even more. So I'm sure you probably got a sneak peek into some of that when you were at corporate there with the advisory council.
Yeah, it's funny. Some things they tell us, but some things they don't. We just we know there are a couple of not basic products, but you know, a longevity product. I mean, living longer, healthier. Obviously, something to enhance life, but also probiotics, which are important to a lot of people as well.
Cool.
Thank you, Dan.
All right.
Okay, this is a really quick reminder of the enrollment packs. Setting people up on enrollment packs, you're actually doing them a favour, and products the most amount of justice. So it's there for all of our use. It's the value added side of the business. So don't start out by saying, oh, they can only afford a case of ASEA or just a case of Renew 28. Show them the packs. You'll be amazed at what people make a decision to do in terms of what they want to come in at with the products, the range that they want to start them off with.
Look, it's always better to start high and come down. If people say, you know, if you show them an entrepreneur pack, for example, and they say, oh, I can't really afford that. Well, then all of a sudden, a business builder pack doesn't seem like nearly as much. And you can always come down to a personal pack. But the point is it creates the best value. You're helping to set them up for success. You're giving them additional loyalty point benefit. I mean, there's just all the rewards and all the benefits. And for starting a business, it's really nothing. So make sure that your objective is to set them up for success and give them those options.
In terms of the promotions, it's a fun way to identify leaders to run with as well, and it creates massive momentum in our business. Dan wanted to touch on Fast Forward because it was ending at the end of March. But Dan, back to you for a bit of info on Fast Forward.
Yeah, they've kept this in on a permanent basis, guys. It's been institutionalized and it's here to stay. I didn't take too much notice of it in the past, but now I've sort of looked at the strategy of how we're building this business. And, you know, you can literally, when people say to you, how do I build this business? This is a great way to explain it to them. So if I said to you guys on this call, listen, in order to ensure your success, you need to put 100 people in the next 12 months, and that's really going to get this business cranking. That is pretty overwhelming, isn't it? Well, talk to your team and put it this way. This fast forward promotion works on a 2-week promotion where once you click the start button, you've got 2 weeks to put 4 people in with a total of 800 PV. So registering those 4 people with 800 PV will give you cash and will also give you some free product. The free product is 25 sample tubes of the Renew 28, 100 points loyalty, which gives you 1 free case of ASEA or the Renew Advanced Skincare System. And obviously there's the Fast Start component, which is $160 US if it's just the 800 PV. So if you actually hit the button and start and then actually put somebody in straight after that. So I wouldn't recommend anybody starts the promotion until they've got somebody ready to register, but don't actually register them until you hit the button because they won't count. So hit the start button on this fast forward promotion, put 4 people in a 2-week period. And if you're doing that every single 2 weeks for 12 months, not only you've earned over $13,000 in cash and free product, but guess what? You've also put over 100 people into your business. So this is your business in a very basic way. I'm running my personal business to this now. I challenge myself literally every 2 weeks to get 4. Can you hear me now? It's all good. I had an unstable internet. I'm challenging myself to put 4 people in. Now, even if I don't achieve that over that 12-month period, I know that I'm going to get 50 people in over the next 12 months. 100%. I love the way you know, the Asians build this business. They, you know, in the past, if you've been in this industry, you hear about people registering 2 people that register 2 people that register 2 people. Well, register 2 people, not just register 2 people, but they register 2 people each every single week. So as far as the fast forward promotion, they will win this every single time because they're putting 2 people in with a minimum 800 PV every single week. Guys, just explain to your team, drive your business to this promotion and it will create the correct business building activity and they will have a substantial business creating that width and helping their people as well to create that depth within your business and theirs.
That was a great way of putting it down. I really loved how you shared the picture of 100 people this year and how we can break that down into bite-sized chunks. It's been a brilliant promotion, and like you say, we haven't really been leveraging off it in Australia.
Well, we haven't been able to include ASEA. Now we can.
Yeah, but it can make the difference to the business. So thanks so much, Dan. And remember, people love earning free product. So the 3 ways to earn loyalty points are in place. This is a massive gift from ASEA. We love being able to ship free product to people that we've earned through the loyalty program around the world. So keep in mind, educating people on the loyalty program is really important. And as you just saw, it's contained in the fast forward as well. So for upcoming events, let's just run through them pretty quickly. To stay plugged in, here's the link. You need to subscribe to the newsletter we put out. It's got all the updated information in there. And there's also a couple of other places that you can go to get events. But this one is for our team, this newsletter, and it's specific.
If you're not getting the newsletter, make sure that you grab a screenshot of this and go ahead and click and log on and just enter your information. Then you'll be plugged into the system.
Yeah. Okay, so as you know, many of you have seen this slide before. You can download it at ASEA actually on the bottom of the newsletters. It's on the bottom of the newsletters, except the one I sent out last night. But here's the schedule for the rest of the year. Make sure you're prepared for it and you've booked everything in. So for your information at the bottom of this sheet, if you want to find out anything about ASEA events, corporate events, go to ASEAEvents.com. And for Australians, memorise this website. You're going to be using it a lot. It's ASEAEvents.eventbrite.com.au. So next month, because of Ascent, it'll be the second Saturday in May, the 12th of May. So I look forward to having you join us again, bringing more people on the line from your team as we interview more rising stars on that call as well. And yes, thank you for all of you who remembered the time zone change down south today. So back to same time zone in Australia. So here's a snapshot for you to be able to plan ahead for the upcoming webinars. No webinar in September. Okay, so to get information on the Expert in the House webinars in Australia, go to the ASEA AU Diamond Events Facebook page. And this week, Dan, we're excited to hear from Dan Doyle. The thing to point out here is the change in times. 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria. So just know what those times are for your time zone as well. Yeah. And Dan, this is a phenomenal way to leverage Dan's time. He hasn't got as much time available to do one-on-ones with people, but he can do 1 on 100, 1 on 200, 1 on 500, and it's the best way to hear his story. So make sure you really promote people for this coming Wednesday night.
Last time we had 224 people plugged into Dan's webinar, so it's a great chance to leverage that for sure. We were doing three different times, but we've decided to bump that back to 2 because it still works for New Zealand and for all across the country. So at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., the idea with these is also to leverage that. So if you get someone on at the 6 o'clock and they like what they hear, your guests can bring on guests to the 8 o'clock. They've got a chance to make some calls and get some people on that. So let's really promote the heck out of these guys.
And our Zoom link is big enough capacity to entertain. So make recordings are at redoxdiamonds.com. So it's a phenomenal way if you miss a call or if you want to plug somebody into a particular expert that you really resonated with, go here to get a download of the previous webinars.
I don't think we've maxed out the Zoom platform yet, guys, for 500, have we? Let's do it this week. Let's do it.
This week. I love the challenge. Love it. Absolutely. Thanks, Dan. Oh, actually, let me go back. So that's the website that I really need all to remember, particularly in Australia. Sorry about the US. It's just the Australian ones for right now, because any event is registered in Australia that are diamonds featuring at on the Eventbrite link. So upcoming, you heard from Alissa earlier. Dan, did you want to mention a little bit? This is the morning meeting in Adelaide that you'll be doing with Alissa.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the morning meeting's open for everybody, so anybody can come along to this event. It's a Discover ASEA, and we'll have a Q&A after, depending on how many people. It'll either be open or private. Yeah. The health practitioner. Okay, you guys might want to start with this, and then I'll just not only reiterate, but just okay. This is very sensitive. Obviously, with health practitioners, a very sensitive event.
So this particular event, the one that's live in Adelaide, this is not open for everybody. The online presentation, anybody can join that, but specifically the one in Adelaide in the afternoon. If you want to come to that event, if you're in Adelaide, make sure that you bring a health professional. It's not just open for everybody for the live event. We want to keep this as kind of a VIP exclusive sort of a thing. Now, anybody can join the afternoon or join online. The thing we do ask is that you invite a health practitioner to jump on as well. So when you click on the link, we send it out in the emails and the newsletters and stuff that are out there. There's a link and a flyer that's attached. But when you register for that, you'll get your health professional and anyone that registers for that will get a reminder the day before through Eventbrite, and they'll also get a reminder about an hour before. And so we encourage everybody to jump on that. Let's make that an outstanding event. Dr. Rob Ward he's starting at 9:30 his time, 9:30 p.m. So he's really doing us a big favor, because that's pretty late for him in the States to do that. He's not compensated for helping us to do this, but he's a tremendous amount of credibility to the table. So this is really a great chance to leverage leverage the health professionals and get them on specifically to this event, and let them know that it is a VIP event. You know, it'll encourage them to, that they're kind of special.
Yeah, so it's a very sensitive event. You just imagine these health practitioners are sticking their neck out to find out about this incredible breakthrough. So if you're actually online with a health practitioner, or you're in the room at our live event in Adelaide, I can just please ask not to ask any questions unless you're a health practitioner. This is exclusively and specifically for health practitioners. So more than welcome to come along, more than welcome to attend if you do have a health practitioner with a live event online. But please don't ask any questions. These are for the health practitioners.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Alissa. So Carnegie, Melbourne. Dan, did you want to mention the...
So look at the questions coming in. Carnegie, so Monday, yeah, the 16th of April, 7 o'clock start, 6:45, 7 o'clock start. It is a Discover ASEA. I haven't been down to Melbourne for a while. Sorry, guys, I'm coming. So, guys, pack the room at the Rosstown Hotel. It's going to be a great event, and looking forward to catching up with people I haven't seen in a long time.
Thanks, Dan. Okay, Asia, Dan.
Wow, Asia.
For this webinar today.
I've been there twice this year. I'm going again in 2 weeks' time. I leave 2 weeks yesterday, and it's exciting. I mean, I've never been to Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan prior to this year. As these guys, you know, the great thing about this business, you know, they're saying it's making friends around the world. I'm learning about all these different cultures. We have the official pre-launch opening of Hong Kong on the 21st of April. So I'll be there with Tyler, Chuck, Jerem from ASEA, and these are going to be great events. Singapore is opening on the 23rd, Bangkok on the 28th. I won't be in Bangkok because I'll be spending time in Taiwan. Taiwan is officially pre-launch opening on June 23, and Manila's to be announced. Now, the Philippines have got an office. Things are happening. All the approvals are done for these countries. But obviously with the schedule of Tyler, Chuck and Jerem, their schedules are tight, so they've had to spread these official pre-launch openings out, obviously over a few-month period. But anybody who's got anybody, obviously we're building this is a bit you're thinking when you're building this, but because you don't know somebody in these countries doesn't mean your team doesn't know somebody. Unstable. Can you hear us again, guys?
Yes.
Notice now? Yeah. Doesn't mean your team doesn't know somebody in these countries. So reach out to your teams, ask them if they know anybody in Hong Kong, Singapore and Bangkok, and in Taiwan while I'm there, and obviously start working on the Philippines with it opening in a short period of time as well.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
We'll also be in Hong Kong and Singapore.
Yeah, we're looking forward to going a lot. So thanks, Dan. Yet again, keep on your radar. We've bought block tickets. We're absolutely going to this event on the Gold Coast. It's the premier network marketing event. Dan, did you want to make an announcement on a block of tickets or anything to do there at your end?
I went to this event in Las Vegas last year, and I've gone along thinking, hey, I'm not going to learn anything. And you know, it literally probably doubled my knowledge and thinking of how to build a business like this. I got so much out of it. The guest speakers were incredible. Eric Worre himself and his wife, Marina, fantastic people. So much knowledge they passed on to us of how to do this. So this event's going to be a great event. I bought block tickets too. We were going to have an incentive for people and an open incentive for people to win these tickets and go to these events. We made a decision not to do that and have it like a silent incentive. I've given away 5 to some pretty impressive, extraordinary people that are doing some amazing things in my business. Now, so Bart and Alyssa's got, Alyssa's one of them, yes. Well done. There's other people I'd like to give them to on this call, but they're in America. I don't think they'll come all the way across to this event. But guys, we are having a silent incentive. So anybody listening to this that's in Bart and Alyssa's business, our business, Mal's business, Lorraine's business, we do have tickets to give away. So just go out there and impress us so we can give you a ticket and get you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. Okay, obviously convention. You want to hear about the new product launch? Get to convention. Dallas is amazing. I know that there is, in terms of the rooms, there's the hotel. We made a booking, or I did yesterday. So don't delay in getting your room booked. You don't need to pay at the time. You can pay when you rock on up there and register. So definitely make this part of your schedule as leaders to be there, because it's life-changing. These events are life-changing, as you've heard from Cristina earlier.
I'm not sure if Ed was able to jump on. He was going to be on a train or something, but Ed.
Let's see if I can find it.
But Ed has organized through one of his downline that a fantastic event where we can get together before the convention as well for a dinner and recognize some of the people and just connect as a group. So we're excited about that as well. So we'll be look for the information on that. It's very affordable. I think it's 20 or 40 bucks, and that we're going to be taking a bus, because just to have it's like 200 bucks per person without even including the food to try to do it at the Gaylord event. It's outrageously expensive. So we're going to go to a place that's nearby with phenomenal barbecue buffet.
It'd be a great way, and it's a really great way to network with each other as well.
Yeah.
I met Cristina there last year. So, so thank you very, very much. It was really an exciting, inspirational call today. We don't need any upline from the States jumping on these calls. I can say that because Ed's not on. But you've all been an inspiration. Thank you for hanging in there as participants. Thank you so much, Dan, for your input as well. Like I said before, you had to really work hard for this webinar today. And we're so grateful on every level for all of you. We so honour your success. What gives us joy is to watch your growth and success. We absolutely love it, and we feel so honoured to know you and to meet you down the track. So 12th of May next month for the same webinar. And do you want to have any?
I just wanted to say thanks again to Cristina, and for Kaleen and Milton, also Alissa, Mauricio, and Richard for sharing your thoughts on ideas and wisdom with us. We really appreciate you jumping on with us today as well.
It was captivating. What you said, all of you, was captivating. So I'll get the recording out as soon as possible in the newsletter. So if you're not in the newsletter, you won't get that. But anyway, thank you again very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Talk soon.
See you guys. Thank you.